Hello, and welcome back. I am doing another VR run through, looking at more of the VirtualSpeech program. This is on the Oculus Quest 2, and it is being produced in the XRcast Studio of the Penn State, here on Penn State Behrend. We just got through the media training one, so now I'm going to look at the train the trainer. So that'll sounds kind of interesting. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Testing your ability. Starting the session. Questions and responses explaining the topic. Okay, train the trainer. I do like these. I think I remember looking into these. These are all from the perspective of somebody who might be leading meetings or leading a group. So just getting you used to doing that administrative work, talking to the group and saying, hey, we're starting now. Hey, this is what needs to be done. So welcome to this Train the Trainer course. We'll test your current ability at training others. Introduce yourself, talk about your current role, any training credentials you might have. This is really good. If you were leading a webinar or a seminar, you would definitely want to establish credibility. So this is very good. Yep, so I'm doing that now. I guess I click end. Now I'll spend a couple seconds talking about the topic or concept you're familiar with and explain in 5 minutes. It's not necessarily need to be work related. Little current knowledge to start with explaining the basics. I really like this as a prompt as well. Get the students talking about something that they know that they could talk for 5 minutes about and that they have to explain from front to back with the expectation that they're all listening and they know nothing. So that's a cool concept. Very cool. And there is definitely a lot of distraction noise in here, so that is good. Okay, so I guess that was the first training environment. Not too advanced, but so that one, I mean, it gives you the opportunity to introduce yourself, talk about your credentials, and then talk about a topic. And that probably will take about 10 minutes. If you introduce yourself, 2 minutes, and then it said 5 minutes for talking about the topic. And then, I don't know, I think, did it mention anything on there about doing questions? Let's see, yeah. I can't get this. So yeah, I can again do the uploaded questions or do pick a topic. So, very cool. Very cool possibilities. And begin and finish. Good solid program. Now next up in the Train the Trainer module, we've got starting the session. So if you haven't already, read the relevant roleplay scenario in the online part of the course. So again, all of these exercises that I'm showing are actually accompanied by some material online. So it is important. Some of these are directly correlated and you need to actually reference that material. Gives you a plan and write an introduction about what you are going to deliver in this VR scenario. So, see, I didn't do any of that work, so I'm not too sure what to present in this VR scenario, but that is all right. Then for the next 5-10 minutes, deliver your prepared introduction. Use the start analysis. Before you start, record your voice and provide feedback on your performance. Load your presentation styles if you have created any, or your presentation slides. So again, same kind of concept. This one, we have seen this particular experience before with everybody there and with the thing over there and everything, but we haven't yet seen it in a way where they're actually providing, they're doing a module on the online course where you actually have an intro that's being prepared according to a certain format and yada yada. So that hasn't yet been done from my recollection on this program. But yeah, this so far we have seen this, but again, still packed with features, much the same that we might have seen already. But I could definitely see this being built into an assignment here. And I like the idea that there's a specific thing that they're introducing. You can't just leave this open-ended. This is challenging for me to just be speaking in an open-ended format like this. So giving students something to talk about will be important in this kind of situation so that they actually see the purpose of this. Otherwise, they'll just feel kind of foolish. They don't know what to say, and then they don't really walk away having said much or gotten a very long experience at all. So, okay, that's that one. Let me just leave here. So that's testing your ability, starting the session, questions and responses. Answering questions and responses. In this scenario, you'll practice answering questions and responses from participants. You'll practice dealing with some of the tough scenarios trainers can find themselves in. Responses to your questions can take several forms. Some might be correct, others off topic or wrong. In this section of the training, you'll practice dealing with both incorrect and correct responses, or correct and incorrect. Incorrect or not completely. Check the points from the online training on the left wall. Now imagine you have asked the question, what time should you plan to cover difficult training material? Okay.
I reckon it's in the middle of the afternoon.
Wrong. That was a terrible suggestion. That's not when it happens. Is that the... Obviously I'm being sarcastic, but is that kind of... responses? Now let's look at dealing with correct. Check the points on the wall. What time should you plan to cover difficult? So it's the same question.
I've read that it's at the start of the day and the middle of the afternoon.
Yes. Finally, somebody's right here. Jeez, don't even make suggestions, man. When a participant asks you a question, there are several ways to respond. We'll practice responding to a question when you don't know the answer, as well as answering a question you do know the answer to. Okay. Several techniques laid out in the online classes again, so there's online material. This is quite nice. Saying that you don't know the answer. Admit that you don't know. Offer to look it up and get back to them.
I've got a quick question. At what age do people learn the fastest?
I'm not entirely sure. I have seen several different ages, but I would say, I mean, I know the brain is very plastic when you are very young. That's why you're able to learn languages very quickly. So I'm going to guess under 5, but I'm not too certain. When you do know the answer, thank the participant for the question, repeat it so that the other participants can hear. That's a good point.
What are the advantages of using a flipboard or a sticky board?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Thank you for asking that. The advantages of using a clipboard is that it's just easier to hold the papers as you're signing them. When you're inputting the data onto a sheet of paper, having a clipboard is just nice to have. Thank you for asking. Okay. So, obviously I had a little bit of fun with that one, but questions and responses, just getting used to answering questions, having to be on your feet. And again, you could import questions, so they could be any. So it's really just the environment that you're paying more attention to. But, now explaining a topic. You will be explaining a topic you have prepared to the participants and keeping them engaged in your training session. Read the whole role play for the VR scenario. Go to the online part of the course. So I haven't done that, but load your very own presentation style or slides. Again, I have not done that, but these are awesome features. Then I could start analysis, and once again, I could record myself and also enable the sound distractions and whatnot for this particular program. So let's just see kind of. Just doing the analysis. I'm giving my presentation. I don't like... I wish there was a way. And I guess in VAR-EDU, I would have a little bit more space, so I could be standing there pointing at the screen a little bit from the side, but I'm currently sitting, so... I could start audience questions. Again, these would be ones that I could have potentially uploaded or whatever. But yeah, this is one scene that we have seen before, so it's nothing too crazy, too out there, but again, still packed with features in many different ways that you can come at this and get a really good outcome. So it's telling me to speak louder after going for 47 seconds, yada yada. So I'll just do stop. Let's see what it says. Results. Not long enough, not enough eye contact, not enough volume. I agree. So, yeah, that was the Train the Trainer module of this whole thing. We got to test our abilities, do some introductions, talking about a topic. Then this one was all about starting the session, actually getting into it, getting into the intro, kind of going over the agenda. This one's obviously questions and responses, getting familiar with getting questions and having to respond to them, sometimes ones you might not know. And then this one is, again, one explaining a topic, and you could import slides into that. So, very cool stuff. I am going to cut it off this time, and then I will pick right back up. This is a VR run-through being produced by the XRcast Studio on the Penn State Behrend campus. Today we were looking at the VirtualSpeech program. And yeah, circle back in. If you want some more information, check out var.psu.edu. Adios.